A locust fighting squad assembled by countries in East Africa could be forced to halt its work due to funding challenges. The UN's Food and Agriculture Organization says that without additional funding, the anti-locust team will have to cease its operations by March this year. CGTN's Daniel Arapmoi has more.
When the first wave of locusts invaded parts of East Africa in early January 2020, many countries had little or no capacity to respond. But with support from FAO, many managed to assemble a locust fighting force in the air and on the ground. The swarms have since then been greatly reduced in number and in size, thanks to those efforts.
The situation has slightly evolved. Donors have heard us, and we should remember that resource partners have been very generous to the desert locust upsurge in 2020. We received over $190 million in 2020, and the funding gap that we were facing and that we are still facing is in a range now of $30 million.
Just when East African countries have started seeing gains in the fight against the locust, there are fears that these could be rolled back due to the funding challenges. Successfully controlling the desert locust invasions in the region will require urgent funding.
With the revised schedule based on latest funding, we can go until end of March now in all the countries, end of March, beginning of April. But if locusts are still present in the region by then, and if we have no funding, then again we will ground the air asset, which is problematic because in April that's when the cropping season, the long rain are going to start and farmers will start to plant. So we need to make sure that we have sufficient capacity to treat remaining desert locusts in the region for the period April to June.
Kenya and southern Ethiopia are reportedly being reinvaded, having beat back the first invasion last year. Over 6,000 hours of aerial sorties have been flown to spot and spray the pests. New innovations such as satellite imagery and trajectory models have now been harnessed to report the presence of locusts in real time. Daniel Arapmoi, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.